My name is Andre Bezos. I just go by Andre or Professor Dre. I want to be your statistics teacher this semester, and I want to say a few things about this course and how it's set up and what to expect. So let's do that. Alright, so here we go. So this is the home page of our Canvas site. We are in a course that is essentially everything is going to be free. Everything's embedded into Canvas. Everything's there for you. It should be straightforward on what to do and when to do it. So let's talk about this. So I got announcements that I'll be posting. This is actually my other statistics course that I'm looking at, but I will be launching our statistics course soon, which is our first 8-week course. I'm very excited to be teaching this 8-week course. I've always wondered why we do things with 16 weeks as opposed to a little bit faster paced course. It is a very different dynamic. Let me talk about that piece for a second. That's a very different dynamic. If you've ever taken courses at UC Davis or a quarter system course, those are 10 weeks, right? A little bit longer, but nonetheless, I went to Sac State to get my BA, and then I went to UC Davis to get my master's, and it was a very big shocking difference between the two, between the semester system and the quarter system. This system that we're about to go into is so fast, very, very fast. Before we know it, we will be done with this course. So what that means for you is that you need to be on top of things. Every day you need to come into this class and start working on things. You need to schedule time to be able to do things. So this is a 4-unit course. For some of you, it may be a 6-unit course because of the stats 10 that we have, right? So 4-unit course technically refers to essentially you working 4 units for inside the class, and then 4 hours for inside the class, inside the class, and 8 hours outside of the class, which would transfer to 12 hours total per week that we're talking about. That would be a normal semester system. Now we're talking about 8 weeks as opposed to 16 weeks. So what that means is we're looking at about 24 hours a week of time and effort you need to put into this course, right? Hopefully, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just realist. I'm trying to recognize that this is going to be fast, and we need to be on it for these 8 weeks, right? After 8 weeks, we can take that break. We can have that fun. But these 8 weeks are going to be a bear, and we're going to get through it. Okay, so the way we set things up, the way I set things up as a teacher, is I want us to be a community, right? I am not an online teacher. I am not somebody who typically does online, right? This last semester was my first experience with online teaching with COVID stuff. So with that in mind, recognize that I will be helping you to make connections with me. I will be helping you make connections with your fellow students so we can all get through this together. So that's just a little bit about me. Let's talk about the class now and how we do get through this. All right. So everything is in Canvas. So your book is in Canvas. Canvas is the book. So you'll be going through the book, trying to make sense of this stuff, taking quizzes very soon after you've read through a page, kind of thing. So let's go through that kind of information. So everything here is on these pages within here. I have my welcome email, which I'm making right now. This is actually my welcome email for my other course, but I want to make one for us specifically because I wanted to talk about the 8-week piece, which I believe is a huge thing. So, and this is something that SCC is trying out for the first time in the math department here. So very excited to try it, and I hope it really helps you focus and stay focused. All right, so we have a bunch of links here, links to announcements, syllabus, learning modules, discussion topics. Table of contents is pretty interesting to be able to look at. I got due dates here. These due dates will change for us, so don't look at those because this is my 16-week course. So we got modules going on. We're going to be working in these modules and going through these modules, and I'll go to that soon. But this table of contents is kind of nice. We can see how much work we have to get through. It's a lot. I'm not going to lie. We have a lot of work in 8 weeks. So what that means is we're working about 4 modules, maybe 5 modules a week. So we're going to be going fast. All right. Stay on top of it. So information, if I scroll down a little bit more, here's some links to what we're doing in the week. I might move this up a little bit later. So the modules are what we're working on. Here's some information about me. And here's some interesting information about what I'm trying to do this semester. So I'm working with 3 other professors at SCC, my friends and colleagues, right? Professor Hanaka Katan, Professor Carla Rojas, and Professor Tricia Sanford. They're all great professors. I've been working, I've known them for a couple years now. Tricia I've known a little bit longer because we went to school together. But they're great people. Hanaka is my office mate when we're actually back in the office, and Carla's right across from me. So we've been talking about doing this for a little while now, and Hanaka and I actually worked together last semester, but on a different program. We did not have this embedded Canvas course. So what we're doing as colleagues is we're actually making up our student-teacher discussion hours all together, and we're posting these discussion hours for you in each individual thing, so you have access to more resources. So if my hours don't work for you, hopefully you can go to Hanako or Carla or Tricia, Professor Katan, Professor Rojas, and Professor Sanford, right? Maybe you can make those. If you still can't make any of these and you really want to talk to me, just please email me. I'm very open to meeting with you, and I understand that these hours aren't going to be suitable for you, but due dates are happening at these times, and I wanted to make sure I was available right before the due dates. Because I'm teaching 3 statistics courses. Professor Katan is teaching 2, and Carla and Professor Rojas and Professor Sanford are teaching 1 each. So I'm teaching more of the statistics than they are, so I thought I'd be more available for our students and you. All right. So that being said, we're working all together. You can go to any of these people, and let's go to the modules. So the modules. So you can click on any of these are links as well. So let me go to module 1 and show you. So if I click on these links, it'll bring me directly to the module. So I can scroll up and brought me into the module. So table of contents, we got the table of contents that we looked at. We got module 1, which is mostly just kind of orientation, getting to know Canvas. If you've never used Canvas, getting to know the class. We got syllabus embedded in here, understanding what we're going to be, how we're going to be grading things, what we're going to be doing in this course. A little information about technology, whether it be computer issue things or GeoGebra, which is actually our calculator that we're going to be using to help us calculate a lot of the statistics we do in this course. MyOpenMath, which is actually an embedded homework program in this course. You don't even know that we have it, but it helps us do the mathematics a little bit better and quiz you on it. So intro to Google Sheets. We'll be using Google Sheets a little bit in the data to help us with GeoGebra, and so forth and so on. So, and then the next thing is learning strategies. What can we do to help us try and understand this stuff? Then we get into statistics a little bit with the big picture statistics. This is where we really get into statistics. So we're going to be going through this really quickly. I have due dates of Thursday, August 27th. This might change for our class. I still need to think about how I'm going to make you all stay on top of this, because I don't know if this is fast enough. We'll see. We'll talk about it. All right. So, and then module 4 is where we get into it. So let me go to module 4 and show you essentially what you can expect. So you can come into the modules and you can work in the modules. You see that we have information right embedded in the modules. So, and once you finish reading over the page and looking over the page and all that stuff, you can move on and say, okay, what's next? Oh, what's next? So you just click through the next buttons, you read over the page, click through the next buttons, and then you're eventually, once you get to the enough information I think this is kind of the longest information before you get to a quiz. So these quizzes are embedded directly in there. This is going to look a little different for you, but there is a start the quiz, I believe. There's no time limit on this quiz, on these little quizzes. 3 tries on this particular one. I think most of them are like this, are 3 tries. This is a Canvas quiz embedded in Canvas, right? So this is probably one of the biggest quizzes I've seen, actually. Most of them are like 1 or 2 problems, maybe 3. So this is one of the bigger ones. So a lot of reading involved, trying to figure things out. So once you finish the quiz, you submit it, and it grades you right then and there. In most cases, some quizzes are open-ended, and I will be grading those, and so it takes me a little while, so be patient. So we read through, once we're done with the quiz, we read through more material, maybe some videos involved, and then we hit next, and we have another quiz. So, and let me open this quiz just to show you that, right, it's not typically that long. So here we have 4 questions, right? Quicker questions as well. So, all right. So quick points. Yes, we will have major tests as well. So we go back to the modules. I'll just kind of scroll down. After module 7 will be our first test. The first test is made up of basically a bunch of problems. So here's the test, a bunch of problems. You can actually take these little questions separately. These are grouped individually. Some of them are MyOpenMath problems. Some of them are Canvas problems. So be aware of that. And some of them are open-ended questions, which is mostly the Canvas questions, where you're typing in your answer or showing me your GeoGebra results. And some of them are you just entering the number that you get out from your calculator, or when you're talking about taking the average or finding the standard deviation and stuff like that. So that is what to expect from doing this. All of this is embedded in there, and yes, it's going to take you some time to go through this, but I hope it's a good system. I do want your feedback. This is my first time using this system. So this system comes from another college that my colleague, Professor Rojas, actually went to a conference, and I went to that same conference, but I didn't go to this lesson, and she found out about this material that they have out there already built in, helpful for the students this way, not going back and forth, not reading really a wordy book, but a little bit wordy kind of problem pages, but we get to you doing the problem so you can retain it better in your short-term memory. And then when we study for long-term memory stuff would be these checkpoints and the test. So the hope is to get it better into your mind, and you understand it better and you'll remember it better for later on. Okay, what else do I need to talk about? So extra teachers. So things are typically going to be due on Thursdays or Mondays at noon. Why? This is just kind of a decision by me and my colleagues, because we didn't want to be on the standard Sunday at midnight. We didn't want you to have that issue of having all your classes be Sunday at midnight, due dates, which we were worried about. So that's what it is, right? If you can't do Monday at noon, right, you can do Sunday at midnight and still work the problems, right? You can turn it in early, right? There is some grace period about lateness. I'm pretty open to helping you make sure you get through your material. I understand that many of you have things going on at home, might have kids that you're trying to get through their school, because we're all home online kind of thing. I have the same scenario. My kids might come in here every now and then in office hours and stuff like that, and you might see them. So this class is fully online. This class is I will be trying to meet with you in person individually, but we do not have any strict meeting times unless you are in the Stats 10 course, which is the support course. And if you aren't and you want the extra support to make it through this course, please talk to me. We can try and do that. All right, and try and get you enrolled. So that is that. So just talk a little bit more about me and what to expect of me. So I am Andre Bezos. You can look me up on PrettyMyProfessors.com. You can look me up in many places. I've been around. I've been teaching here at SCC. This is my start of my second year full-time at SCC. Before this, I was at Sierra College for 5 years for full-time. Why the change? Because I live in Sacramento and I love Sacramento and I love the diversity of Sacramento. And I wanted to work with students that are different, that are different people. It interests me. People interest me. I love people and I love working with people. And what I was getting at Sierra College wasn't different. So, though it was fun, I enjoy working with people and I want to be here. So yeah, that is me. And other things you should know about me is I'm a big proponent of social justice issues, and in this class I can actually bring those into here, and we can talk about things with social justice issues. We can talk about the systemic racism that is involved in police violence in the school system. Yes, here, right? And this is part of why I am doing this, why I want to do this course the way we are doing it, because of what the results are showing from who have taught this in the past. So we are using data to show that we can do this and we can actually get rid of systemic racism. So there's ways to do this. So, and hopefully this will help us in general. So, I believe in you. I am a firm believer that you can do this no matter what. So let's work together as students, as a class. I am your guide to help you through this. All right. I do have another video out there called The Long Introduction. This will start off your points. Well, this kind of starts off your points. And then the long introduction is a way for us to get to know each other and want to help each other out. All right. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll see you in class.